All right, guys. I want to show you what I have for my build so far. I'm almost to my goal, and I will elaborate on my goal here in a sec. But I'm just going to go everything individually and show you, explain a little bit more in detail what everything is. Going in this guy right here, 2011 WRX. So here's what I got so far. This is the Cobb SF intake air box, just to help with underhood temperatures as far as your intake goes, or your filter. The SMY gauge cluster. I really like how the gauge pods are integrated in the surround. Here I have the Cobb Downpipe, and I guess if you're going to keep your stock turbo, this is where the power is at, right here. So very nice piece. Here I have Pro Sport gauges, an EGT gauge and a boost gauge. So that's what's going to be going in that surround. Here I have a 3-port electronic boost control solenoid, and pretty nice little piece. Moving along, of course, we have the Accessport so that we can tune all of this stuff, make it work. Here's the Cobb SF intake itself. Moving along, I have a Deechworks 65C fuel pump. Tiny guy. I thought it'd be bigger than that, but little tiny guy. Let's see, where should I go next? That's pretty much it for the Cobb products now. The only thing I'm waiting on, I can't remember if I said this already or not, is the cat back exhaust. That's the only thing I have left as far as this portion of the build goes. And that won't be ordered for a while, maybe in a month or a month and a half. So that's what I have for Cobb. Pretty much the rest of these components, most of it is Perrin, so I'll move on to those. Here you have the Perrin heat shield. Very nice piece, and as far as I know, you have to have an aftermarket heat shield when installing a downpipe, or you'll have to trim your factory one, which I didn't want to do, so I chose the Perrin. Coming over here, I have the air oil separator, which is just insurance basically. Just the way the engine and the PCV system was designed on these WRXs, not the greatest, so that's just a little bit of insurance to keep oil out of your intake, or minimize it at the very least. These are the fittings that come with it. They're plastic. I like the color that they're black, but since I have a top mount intercooler, this is going to be sitting fairly close to the turbo, so I opted for the upgraded, I don't know if they're stainless or nickel, I don't remember what they are, but these are the upgraded parts to replace these. So just a little more durability, and again, it's going to be real close to the turbo, so it's a little bit smarter, I think. This is the subframe lockdown kit, and this is the differential lockdown kit, and these are front control arm bushings. I was told by shop that mine were going bad. However, I lifted my vehicle up, and I didn't really see what they were talking about, but regardless, I don't mind. Urethane bushings are always better than rubber, in my opinion. Have the pitch stop mount, and I have the coupler from the intake, the intercooler to the throttle body. The reason I got this is because I heard the factory hose is a common place for a boost leak. So again, just kind of some insurance. I got the 1.75 inch Uppipe, because again, I have a factory turbo, and that's what Perrin recommends, so I trust their R&D. And I got the Perrin top mount intercooler. And this thing's pretty big. I mean, I know it's not the best angle, but pretty meaty. Definitely bigger than the factory one, that's for sure. And then I got the Perrin Recirc valve. If you notice, I'm kind of sticking with a red theme here. So, and this guy's actually a lot bigger than I thought it would be, but I'm real excited to see how this thing sounds. And then moving along, I have NGK spark plugs. These are the 2309, one step closer, or colder, sorry. Focus there. And these were recommended to me by my tuner, so that's what I got. I'm going to be having Clark Turner tune my vehicle. And I believe, last but not least, as far as what I haven't installed yet, these are injector dynamics, 1300 cc's. Very nice injectors. Very expensive. And these are stainless steel internals. That's really what kind of got me, sold me on these. And on top of their flow characteristics, obviously. I mean, 1300 cc's, that's plenty. That'll be all I ever need. So I also got the plug and play adapters. So those should plug right in without having to modify anything. These were included with the injectors themselves. I think this is just to kind of repin your factory harness, so I don't think I'll be using those actually. So you're probably wondering why with the stock turbo I'd get 1300 cc injectors. Well, like I said, this is my goal so far. I'm not going to stick with the factory turbo forever. This is just my goal so far. My final goal is to add, I really want to get the, I will be getting the IAG 2.5 block, which is good for 700 horsepower. It's a closed deck, which I'll never get that high. I don't need a car that fast, nor do I want a car that fast. I mean, that to me for a daily driven vehicle is just ridiculous. But anyway, the reassurance that I have a very strong block that can handle whatever I throw at it is the reason I want that block. And eventually, you know, not many people keep their car forever, so if I decide to sell my car down the road, somebody else will have that reassurance that you know, this thing has a very strong block in it. And I want to mate that to a Borg Warner EFR 7163 turbo. It's a stock location kit. Spent a lot of time researching that specific turbo on Naziok, and nothing but good things about that turbo. Stock characteristics as far as spool goes, but with the right mods will kick out well over 500 horsepower. And my end goal is about around 400, 450-ish. That's my end goal, not my immediate goal, but my end goal. And as far as setting goals goes, I think you have to really actually set a goal. You know, I mean, if you just want, I want to make my car faster, I'll get stage 2 or whatever, you know, I mean, that's fine, but is it going to be what you really want? I mean, yeah, it's going to be a lot better than the factory settings and power, but is it really going to be what you want? I mean, I think you need to actually set a goal. So the goal I set for myself, and again, that's not this, but the final goal that I want with my car is going to be faster than any production 4-cylinder car. And as of right now, I believe the fastest car or most power 4-cylinder car that will be coming out is the Ford Focus RS, I believe is what it's called, and I think it's rated for 350 horse. So if you're wondering where I came up with this 450 horse numbers, I didn't pull it out of my ass. That's my goal. I want to be faster than any production 4-cylinder car. So that's kind of where I got that number. On top of those mods that I talked about I want to get eventually, paired with the EFR 7163 will be Full Race's kit for that turbo, which will include the Uppipe and the Downpipe. So that'll render this and that useless, but for the time being, this is what I want. So no big deal there. You know, I don't mind. I'll hang on to both those parts once I take them off.